Hammer, we are into week 4. How's your squads doing, Hammer?
Actually, not too bad. Yesterday was a bittersweet day because I had a bunch of guys going.
Did you?
The Packers got their ass kicked. But I
Yeah,
had
we'll talk about that, but go ahead.
I had some Jordan Love action. I had some Romeo Dubes action. Sam Laporta, of course, my guy. I had a little Jaden Reed. So overall, not bad, honestly. Like from a fantasy perspective, it was a pretty solid game if you had some guys going yesterday. So I'm off to a good start on Thursday, but as we know, the fantasy gods don't make up their mind until Monday night. So it's a blessing and a curse because you could get that false sense of security on Thursday if you have a good Thursday night.
Well, I think I had Monty going
Yeah, I
in
saw
one
that.
league, St. Brown in another, but then I was going against Monty and St. Brown in another league. Like I had Joshua Reynolds going in one league too.
Giveth
Um,
and taketh away.
and so yeah, so Monty smashed. I was definitely playing him if he was going to play. Gibbs, we'll talk about Gibbs because a lot of people are getting upset with Gibbs and what's going on over there, and he's not getting enough touches. But we'll talk about Gibbs. We'll talk about Love. We'll talk about all of it here. But yeah, I mean, we saw the first half just wasn't very good for Jordan Love. I mean, he didn't look good. Everything was just horrible. Came alive at the end, but a little bit too late. But yeah, what did you think about Jordan Love, especially early on, and then how he turned it on? At the end.
Early on, it was very frustrating, and you can kind of see the injuries on the offensive line manifest itself because the Detroit front four was just in Jordan Love's lap all of the first half. It looks like they kind of fixed some things in the second half, but that first half was fucking brutal, dude. And it was so hard to watch. The combination of the offensive line getting manhandled and some of the questionable play calling on certain down and distances. I think they came out with 6 straight passing plays or something like that, or 7 straight passing plays. And I'm like, yo, if the offensive line isn't, where it's supposed to be, missing Elton Jenkins, missing David Bakhtiari, who's on IR and done for the season now, you know, get, I don't want to say get creative, but run it a little bit. That's how you kind of neutralize a really good pass rush. So the first half was really tough to watch. I think the only first down they got in the first half was because of a penalty. That's how bad it was. That's how fucking bad it was. So I saw some good things. I saw some really bad things. Overall, I wasn't happy with the performance. I feel like there was a point in the game when we had an opportunity to make it a 2-possession game, a 1-possession game actually after the second touchdown, the rushing touchdown by Jordan Love, and we went for 2, and he basically did like almost like an option play like you see in college kind of deal. So frustrating night overall if you're a Packers fan, but I think we got to clean up the offensive line.
I mean, you saw Aaron Jones didn't do jack. Horrible game for him. I was going against him in a couple leagues, so I was happy about that. But your boy Dubes, I mean, 13 targets, 9 for 95, and Christian Watson's first game back. I know he was, limited a little bit, but had 4 targets, 2 for 25, did catch the tutty. And then Jaden Reed, 3 for 55. I mean, he was the second leading, in targets with 5. But
Musgrave got hurt as well.
yeah, Musgrave went down too. So got to find out what happened with him. Did they say exactly what it is yet?
I believe it was a concussion protocol, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that, but I'm fairly certain it was concussion protocol. I don't think he returned to the grave. He returned to the Musgrave. That's what he did. I don't think he returned to the game. Concussion, and he did not return. So
That's right. It was a concussion. Okay, so it wasn't okay. It's not like injured, but concussion. Okay. Johnny D, what's up? Montgomery went off last night. Of course, I had him and Watson on the bench. That's rough. I'm just too skeptical of playing guys as soon as they come back from their injuries. Yeah, I mean, depending who it is and what it is, wide receivers kind of especially, but running backs typically kind of when they're back, they're kind of in. When they just play.
Not
But
necessarily, because you can look at the flip side. Aaron Jones played and didn't play a lot or well.
you
So
you
it,
could look at that side of it too. But Monty is,
you,
said, okay, Monty's playing. He's getting the rock. I mean, we gotta play Monty. I mean, he got what 32 carries, 32 for a buck 21, three
and
tutties.
the game script was good for them for him to get that many
Yeah,
carries. They
game
were
script,
up.
of course, was very good for him. Josh Reynolds 3 for 69 on the 6 targets. St. Brown 5 for 56 on the 7 targets. Had the tutty. Laporta, your boy, 4 for 56 on 5 targets. Gibbs had 5 targets, but only four. He had 4 receptions, but 11 yards only. So 11 yards for him there. Eight carries on the ground for 40 yards. So a lot of people are upset with Gibbs, and they're not using Gibbs, and they're out on Gibbs. And I mean, listen, like I said, he's a RB2 with RB1 upside. He got decent amount of work. We want probably anywhere from like 10 to 12 carries. Typically, what I said was he'll probably get 10 to 12 carries and like 5 to 6 targets. I mean, you get 5 to 6 targets, that's almost 100 targets on the season, right? That's like 96 or something like that. If you go over
Mm-hmm.
the 17 games. So, he just didn't cash in exactly, and he didn't score a tutty. But if he would have took one of those passes to the house or scored a tutty on it or had 50, 60 yards, then we've been singing a different tune. So I'm still for Jahmyr Gibbs. I still like it. It wasn't a perfect game script for him where they're up by so much. So I didn't expect him to get a ton of carries once they were up by much. But I mean, what are you feeling on Gibbs as of now?
I think you just have to have some patience, man. I mean, we get spoiled, and I said this about wide receivers as well, where we get spoiled where there's some of these guys that just come out and make an immediate impact. And I think we kind of forgot about David Montgomery because he was in such a shitty situation in Chicago. We kind of forget, like, he is an established RB1 in terms of a lead back, right? He can be a lead back. So I think we're forgetting that, and I think the Lions kind of want to protect their asset. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs is a
That's what I was
young
gonna say
dude
too. Yeah.
that has a very high upside, and they want to protect him. They don't want to run him 25 times, a game. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to kind of use him in that Tony Pollard role. Now, I know Tony Pollard's getting an increased workload, but when Zeke was there, Tony Pollard got his 10, 15 touches. I would like to see on the higher side of the 15 touches. I feel like 10
Mhm.
is too little, especially for an offense that's that good. And also, really quick, we just got some news that Jamison Williams is on the return as well. So that's going to be another added
Did
cog.
see I did see that. I think that probably affects Reynolds more than anybody else, but I mean, like you said, I'm with Gibbs. I think that like you said, he's an asset that they're trying to protect. I mean, they're looking at years and years down the road that they can have this guy. They've got a guy
Yep.
like Monty who can take the brunt of the carries right now, and they can use Gibbs when they need him.
Yep.
When you're up, you might not need to use him as much. So unfortunately, that sucks. But that's the risk that we take. So I think he could still be an RB2, and if he continues at least on the targets, I mean, it has almost 100 targets when Swift had 70 last year. I mean,
Yeah, I
he
still
just didn't do
think.
much with the receptions. I think until he starts really kind of rolling and actually getting yardage and maybe scoring a tutty or two, everybody's going to be upset.
I also think with the offense that they're in, there's going to be enough opportunities for him to play and get have some upside. So listen, if you have better options, if you have a DeAndre Swift, if you have a Monty, you kind of have to play those guys until further notice if Gibbs is there. Now, I know a lot of people picked up Gibbs, especially in Dynasty and even redraft, really, and they expected kind of him to outpace David Montgomery, but clearly that's not the case early on. And yeah, just have some patience with him.
Yep. It's good. Everybody in the chat. We'll get to all the questions here. One Nation
Mm-hmm.
for this killer trade. Godwin, Ford, and Bigsby, and he got AJ Brown.
That's pretty good.
That's a good trade there. I like that. That's good. One Nation. Bench Garrett Wilson for Monty last minute.
That'll work.
Okay. Got you almost at this point. Albert, what up, Albert? John said fucking had Monty on his bench. I
Yeah, that's no bueno.
mean, if he's playing, you gotta play him. You gotta play him. All they gotta do is get to the goal line. I mean,
Yeah,
you know. Albert says Swift or Kyron Williams half PPR.
I think I'm going Swift just because of the octane, the high octane offense that the Eagles are running, and it looks like they're kind of committed to running Swift, and that offensive line is moving people. Swift is the play here.
Well, Kyron, I mean, he's got 4 touchdowns. That's why he's been so, successful so far. But yeah, Swift, he's on the last year of his deal. They're going to run him into the ground, I feel like. So I'm going Swift here. Let's go with the upside. Let's go with the better offense, right? Frank, what up, homie? So what you think Jameson Williams going to do when he comes back?
I'm not playing him right away. I do want to see kind of how he's utilized because Sam Laporta has emerged as a viable target. He is, basically he's the number 2 target in that passing game. I know they have Reynolds, they have a little Khalif Raymond, but I'm going to hold off on Jameson Williams because you probably have better options. And we talk about this all the time. Like, what are your other options? If you're running, I'm still playing like a Romeo Dubes over him. I would even play Christian Watson over Jameson Williams at this point if you had Christian Watson and kind of waiting for Watson to come back. So I'm in a little bit of a wait and see pattern with Jameson Williams. I do think he can make some plays, but I'm in a wait and see with him.
I mean, I think he's gonna kind of be boomish or bustish, hit or miss. He's gonna catch the bomb, or is he not? I mean, he's gonna be the guy that's over the top, that stretches the defense, and you've got Amon-Ra underneath. So they complement each other. I do like Jameson Williams, but I think he's gonna be more of a boom bust kind of guy, which could suck at certain times. But I mean, great offense. You got St. Brown who's hogging up targets. Defense is looking in on that. They got to respect Monty. They got to respect Gibbs. So, JMO could be running free. I need A-Chain to do a 2-peat. Yeah, we'll see what happens coming into this game. I mean, it does a med play. That's why A-Chain even got on the field in the first place. He was a healthy scratch the first week, right? And then second week, now you had Ahmed go down. And so, A-Chain came through, and
apparently Jeff Wilson is going to be on his way back sooner rather than later.
Now, so he's got to come back. But for now, I mean, I think you're fine playing him this game. I don't know if Ahmed's going to play or not, but just something to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on as we get closer to Sunday. Zubat Slayer. Would you start Ayuk or A-Chain in the flex half PPR?
That's a tough one. Obviously, everybody's on the A-Chain train.
Or it's actually A-Chan. He actually corrected everybody. It's A-Chan.
That's fucking stupid. It's A-Chain. Let's see. San Francisco is home to Arizona, and Miami has a dance at Buffalo. Give me some Ayuk here. I think I'm going to lean Ayuk on this one, but you can really go either way, to be honest with you. Remember, Waddle is back. Waddle is back for this game.
I mean, Arizona's been playing everybody pretty good. You would expect San Fran to be up. So, my only thing with Ayuk is, if it's not a game, I mean, who's going to be the one that gets to work, right? Because at a certain point,
CMC,
it's going to be tough. So, with Ahmed still not ready, I think I'm going to lean A-Chain and chase the upside. But I mean, everybody's going to be chasing the points of A-Chain. And I would just say, just be careful when Wilson comes back because we don't know what's going to happen there. But for now, since Wilson is not back and Ahmed, is injured, I'll roll with A-Chain. Let's give him another shot. I know he's going against Buffalo, which is a much better defense, but we'll see. Colin said he broke his TV.
That'll do it. So
Uh,
Ahmed is actually listed as questionable.
yeah, he's questionable, so just got to keep an eye on it coming through. But
I do think because of what they saw in A Chain, I don't think they're in any rush to bring Ahmed back.
well, yeah, of course. He's got to be at least on the field. So, Kev, what up, Kev? What up, my dudes? We'll check back in later. Date night with wifey. What are you guys seeing people do with Hall and Wilson shares? Worried.
A little bit. There's some dissension, and Kev, I live in New York City, so I'm listening to ESPN radio, and the Jets are just getting eviscerated day after day. There's talk of the defense being really upset with the offense and the head coach, and because he's supporting Zach Wilson, it looks bad. They're playing Kansas City on Sunday night on the bright lights. It's pretty bad. I would still hold on to these guys because I do think if Zach Wilson goes out there in front of the home crowd on national television this Sunday night and lays another egg, I think you could see Trevor Siemian come in. I'm not saying Trevor Siemian's great, but I've seen Trevor Siemian play average football. And if you could play average football with this team, it can be okay. So I would wait another week to see what Zach Wilson does with this team. I think they're going to get roasted on Sunday night. And I think Trevor Siemian's probably going to play week 5.
Yeah. Well, Albert said Debo might be out this week. I didn't see that. So, yeah, I would just say keep an eye on it. He might play. He might not play. So, if he doesn't play, then maybe you lean more towards the Ayuk side. But it's tough to not play Achan after 50-point outing. I know, but
we chase the points. A lot of people do that, and that's going to be tough. He's not going to get 50 every fucking week, and they still have Raheem Mostert. And part of the reason why I'm going to say Achan, whatever. Part of the reason why he got a lot of that work is because they hung 70 on Denver. Mostert got
out.
most. That's what I'm saying. Mostert
after they were in
Mostert
the 40s,
got the bulk of the work. So I would temper my expectations with Achan this week against the decent Buffalo front.
So yeah, Brees Hall. I mean, he played what 50% of the snaps. I think. Yeah, he played 50% of the snaps last week and got 12 carries. So he's increased his snap percentage every game. I'm still okay with Brees Hall. I'm fine with Brees Hall. I think as the season goes on, he'll be fine as long as he gets the carries. I know everything else is kind of in shambles, but I'm still good with Brees. Wilson, I mean, like we've been saying, kind of low-endish RB2, almost, wide receiver 3 almost now. So
yeah, it's tough sledding.
It's tough, but we'll see what happens.
Man, all the Jets had to do was go out and get a serviceable quarterback. That's all they had to do.
Zubat said it's Achan, not A-Chain. Make sure you say it right, Hammer.
Jesus Christ.
And what are people doing with those shares of Hall and Wilson? I mean, Wilson, I've seen a bunch of tier downs or try and tier up to like a quarterback or something. But it's rough because a lot of people are like automatically kind of putting them down. So you almost kind of have to keep them or take pennies to the dollar almost. Unless you can find somebody that really likes them or maybe a rebuilding team that's willing to pay a little bit. But Brian said, real challenge for you on this one. Who would you sit and start as RB1 and 2? Got Mostert, ETN, Jacobs, Achan, Swift. Had Monty on the bench. All right. You had Monty on the bench. That sucks, but all right. No problem. PPR. So we need an RB1 and an RB2. So we got to pick 2 of these guys.
Well, I will say this. Mostert, because you have so many good running backs, you kind of got to look at the matchup. I think you're playing Swift here. Swift, I believe they're playing the Commanders, but they're playing at home against the Commanders. I'm playing DeAndre Swift. Listen, I'm not a DeAndre Swift guy. I always said he's a good talent, but you can't trust him to stay on the field. However, with this Eagles team, this Eagles offense, they're just gashing people. That offensive line is just a road grader. So I'm playing DeAndre Swift for sure. Mostert has a tough matchup against Buffalo, at Buffalo. ETN is an interesting play here. They play Sunday morning at 9:30. So for everybody that's watching out there, we got the London game popping off this week. So if you have any starts and sits with Atlanta and Jacksonville, make sure you kind of move your lineup accordingly. But I'm gonna go DeAndre Swift, and it's between Mostert and ETN here. I think I'm lean Mostert. Yeah, I'm gonna go Mostert and Swift, but ETN is a close play here as well.
Yeah, you can't not go. I think it was hard to not go Mostert. I don't even care who they're playing at this point. And then I think we have to go Swift. ETN is a close one, but like I said, Swift there, I think they're just going to run him into the ground at this point. So, and that offensive line is
Just
rolling. So, yeah,
moving
give me
people.
Mostert and Swift there. Give me Mostert and Swift. One Nation. Is there a stat for the team who has had the most goal line work so far? There's a bunch of different kind of stats you can look up. Yeah. So you can look up like goal line carries, goal line, or in the red zone
You
targets.
gotta believe the Eagles, in terms of running the ball, would be pretty close because when they get down
There's a
there,
few
they
different
just
ones.
push Hurts in. He's got a few of those.
There's a few different websites that you can use that you can combine. If you message me on Instagram, I can send you some of the websites that have those stats. Um, Diaz had Connor Evans fourth or Gibbs, and third. The team getting Connor side is in win now. Yeah, I'm fine paying that for Gibbs. If you need to pay that for Gibbs, if you're not trying to win right now, I mean, yeah, I'll pay that for Gibbs. That's fine. Two older players, you get to come off for a top RB. Even if you don't like Gibbs, there's still a ton of people out there that will still value him incredibly high. So he's a young running back. Yeah, give me Gibbs.
I would try and squeeze a little more out of this because Connor and Evans are playing really, really well. So I would try and squeeze a little bit more out of this if you can, Mike. Um, I know they're older guys, so it's going to be tough, but these guys are really balling right now. And if the Connor side is in win now, try and squeeze a little more out. Try and get a second if you can, right, instead of a third. See how far you can push the envelope.
Yeah. I don't know how much. I don't know how much more you're going to be able to get. I don't think you can get a second, but you could try. Not, it's worth trying, right? It's worth
Yeah, for
trying.
sure. If that guy's in win now, he really wants those older kind of go for it now guys. He may be willing to part with a little bit more.
But yeah, I like it, Diaz. Lucius said received a trade request, giving up Gibbs for Mostert. Thoughts? Thanks in advance. Giving up Gibbs. If this is redraft, I mean, you're taking it. If we're talking about dynasty, then I'm not taking it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with that because listen, Mostert is on a tear right now, but he is older. I believe Mostert's 31 with a significant injury history, and Gibbs is a rookie. We're not doing that in Dynasty. I know how well Mostert's playing. Redraft, absolutely, but Dynasty, hell no.
Yeah. Let's see. Simp, what up, Simp? Left DeMonte on the bench because of the questionable tag. Should I put Madison or Palmer in my flex? Got Herbert as a QB if
It
that
does
matters.
matter. That does matter. Fire up Josh Palmer.
Firing up Josh Palmer. Madison, yeah, I'm firing up Josh Palmer as well, but I'm not as much out on Madison as a lot of people are, I think, at the moment. I was looking through just some of the stats, right? And Madison is fourth in the league in running backs and targets with 17, which will put him at like almost 100 for the season. It's like 90 something if you do the math there, which is kind of crazy. Now I don't expect him to get maybe 90 targets, but I think just that little bit of upside as an RB2 where people are very off of him, I think he can be had for relatively very cheap right now.
I mean,
Not that I
20,
love
20,
it, but the price point to get you an RB2, that's what I'm looking at.
20 his volume has increased over since game one. Obviously, his snap percentage has gone up pretty steady, 73, 76, 80. 27 opportunities last week. You love that. It doesn't
Mhm.
look like Cam Akers is much of a factor
Well,
yet, anyway.
he'll be trying to come in this week, but I don't think he will be.
But I think I'm still going Josh Palmer here. Let me check the
But yeah,
matchup as
I'm
well.
still going Palmer. Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
Home against Vegas. I'm taking the Josh Palmer here.
yeah, no, I'm definitely taking Palmer. I was just talking a little bit about Madison. Simp said if Madison has a decent game, thinking about trying to trade him for Aaron Jones. Thoughts?
I think Aaron Jones is really good. It's just it's kind of lateral. I think Aaron Jones has a little bit of a higher upside, but the difference really isn't going to be much when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much the same. The RB2s. Give me the higher powered offense, I guess, in the Vikings. They'll be more at the goal line. Give me that. I
Now,
don't know.
do
I don't trust
you
the
think?
damn Packers. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. I don't know.
Well, no, I think that was only because Aaron Jones got hurt. Now, if Aaron Jones didn't get hurt, I don't think it's even a case. And honestly, the way AJ Dillon's performed in Aaron Jones' absence, I think it benefits Aaron Jones a little bit more going down the line where they're looking at AJ Dillon like, bruh, you ain't that dude. Like, so I think
Yeah,
this
but the
could end
Packers
up
always
being more
doing.
of a 70-30 split.
They're always just doing weird shit. Like we know what it should be, but they don't do that, and that's what just gets me upset. So I've always just kind of stayed away from Aaron Jones, but yeah, they're relatively the same. Debo, Elijah Moore are questionable for Sunday. Ayuk locked the full practice. I do want A Chain's upside though. Yeah, so it's tough. If Debo's not gonna play, it's tough not to play Ayuk, but it's also tough to not play A Chain after what he did. After what he did last week. But it is going to be a different game. They're not going to be up, 40, 50 points. They're playing a much better defense. They're actually playing like an NFL team because I don't know what the fuck the Broncos were last week. Um,
Yes.
so
That
that's a tough call. I feel like you might be like safer almost with Ayuk, but A Chain gives you, of course, that crazy upside. So depending on maybe who you're playing, your opponent, or what's happening with your squad, like do you have some injuries? Do you have to chase that upside? Like you can use some of those factors to kind of determine if you want to go for the upside or not. Eric, 10 team, half PPR, 2 flex, Kamara or Dell in the flex.
that's a pretty good one. Saints. Who are the Saints playing this week? Fuck is it? Saints are home against Tampa. Houston home against the Steelers. Give me Tank Dell here.
I mean, yeah, he's been on fire lately. He's wide receiver 14 on the season right now. Give me Dell and Kamara's first game back. I do like Kamara, but not enough to play him over Dell in the first game back. Dell or Nico?
Whoo.
How about that one?
Damn. See the thing is, I've noticed like Nico's going to give you the safer floor, but Dell is going to give you the higher ceiling. In my estimation. Um, Nico's had 2 good games, one not so great. Dell, same thing. So it's tough. I don't think the separation is as much. I think Dell is the more explosive guy. But what'd you say Dell was? 14, half PPR?
I mean, Nico's not far behind. He's like 20 or
No.
21 or something like that. So they're
Yeah, he's
relatively
20.
close, but
I think Nico is the safer play in PPR formats, but Tank Dell has a bit of a slightly higher upside in my estimation. So I don't think you could go wrong here. Honestly, that's kind of splitting a hair.
that's close. It's tough to decide who you're picking there. They're going against Pittsburgh. So give me Give me the bigger guy that's got a chance to make a play. Give me Nico. Give me Nico. Although
I'm gonna
it could be opposite, but pick
I
and
think I'm gonna
choose what
roll
you want,
Tank on
man.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
Marty, what up, Marty? What do you think about Gabe Davis for a second trade? Did you wait? What was it? You got Gabe Davis for a second, or you traded away Gabe Davis for a second?
I
Was it
think
in
we
our
might.
league?
I believe so. I think so.
Damn, my inbox is full. I gotta check out these trades. Um, where is it?
Hold on. Let
All
me
right,
let me
so
check.
yeah, okay. So you got the second. You got the second. Okay, you traded away Gabe Davis for a second. Yeah, I'm trading. I'll take that all day, bro. Give me the second.
Gabe
Give me
Davis
the
has actually been performing. I know we don't trust
I don't
it,
care.
but
I don't care. If I can get the second, I'll take it. Because at a certain point you might not be even able to get a second. So give me the second while I can have it.
this is
And you can
this is
and you
Gabe.
can have Gabe Davis.
This is Gabe Davis in a nutshell. One catch on 4 targets for
Oh,
35 yards and a touchdown. What the fuck is that in a game that Josh Allen just went off?
and he's
What
the
is
wide
that?
receiver too on a crazy offense.
Oh my god, that's why we hate Gabe
I
Davis.
don't want it. Ayuk or Puka, PPR. You have to play Puka. I don't know
Yeah,
if you can't just not play Puka,
agreed.
especially with Cup out. When Cup comes back, maybe we can have that conversation again. But
Can now Debo's out? Does that become a much stronger conversation?
sir, Phil. Yeah, if Debo's out, no. I don't care. I'm still playing Puka. Puka and Ayuk, no, we're still playing Puka. I'm not. I don't. No, I'm playing Puka,
Okay,
bro.
all right. I'm
I'm
just
15, 20 targets. I know I'm taking that any day. It's wide receiver, one status. And
wait a
until Cup
minute.
comes back,
Oh,
as long as Stafford is healthy, you're gonna play Puka. I think you should play Puka over most.
I would agree. I'm just throwing out the Debo thing. That makes a
You know,
difference.
for sure. No, it does. It does. Why are you going Ayuk there, or are you going Puka?
No, I'm going Puka, but I'm saying the case is a lot stronger for Ayuk if Debo doesn't play.
Not strong enough.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be objective. God damn it.
It's Puka. There's no objective. Trade Monty and Burrow for Mahomes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that. So
Yep. I'm
if
doing
that's
it.
what it's going to cost you, because I'm sure you got Monty at a pretty good bargain in drafts. So yeah,
And
give
Burrow's
me
not
Mahomes.
playing well.
Give me Mahomes. Salazar, if you can get him Mahomes, outcome smash it, bro. Yep.
Yep.
Kevin knows what it
Agreed.
is. Appreciate you, Kev. Emil, what up, Emil? Ertz or Jake Ferguson rest of the season? Give
I
me
think I lean.
Ferguson.
Yeah, I think I lean Ferguson here just because who's the young tight end in Arizona? Fuck, the name slipped my mind.
Damn, you made him slip my mind too. McBride.
Hold on.
McBride.
Trey McBride, yes. I think Trey McBride is going to start to eat into some of those targets. And Dallas is on a higher powered offense. I'm going Ferguson here.
Yeah, I feel the same. Ertz didn't even get much last week, didn't he? What was his burn? I think it started already. First 2 weeks were like, what the fuck? 10 targets,
Uh,
8.
Ertz game log, yeah. His
Give
targets
me
have gone down in every game. 10, 8,
yeah.
and then 2.
So yeah, targets have went down and the snap percentage have went down.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way down to 59%. So something to just keep an eye on. But yeah, give me Ferguson, Emil. Bogey, what up, Bogey? How you feel about my boy Romeo? I know it's been my dude since early. Yeah, you have like Romeo. I love that Christian Watson, his bag. It's only going to open it up more for him. Yeah, I mean, we'll see we'll see how everything turns out. I know Watson obviously didn't play like a full percentage of snaps, but yeah, if Dubes can continue on what he's doing, because the first 2 weeks he didn't really do jack, and then right, and then he started going off, if I'm not mistaken, right? The last 2 weeks he really had a
Uh,
great week. Yeah. Okay. Well, the first week he had the 2
yeah.
touchdowns, but yeah, he's
He's
got a
had
ton of targets
3.
the past 2 weeks. So
He's had 3 out of 4 really good games. Like, you like to see that. 18 points, 5, 18, 18. He's been pretty damn good, and he sits as the wide receiver 8. I know, obviously, the rest of the guys haven't played, so he's probably more like wide receiver 15 after the week's over. But still, man, for where you got him, he's looked really good. He looks like him and Jordan Love have a really nice rapport. The Watson thing, I think it impacts Jaden Reed more than it does Dubes. So I love me some Dubes, man. He's awesome. I have him in the subscriber league, and he played pretty well yesterday.
Sim said, lineup this week's Herbert, Bijan, Cook, CD, Waddle, Ridley, Palmer, Laporta. How would you rate for the week?
That's fucking potent.
How would you rate for the week? So lineup this week: Herbert, Bijan, Cook, CD, Waddle, Ridley, Palmer. You don't have to rate it for a week, bro. You can wait it for the season if you want. Rate it for the season. But yeah, I mean, you got an awesome squad. You're gonna play those guys every week. There's no question of who you're gonna play in any of those spots, except for Palmer, maybe. Obviously, you know, if what's his name didn't get hurt, Mike Williams didn't get hurt, you probably would maybe have someone else in there. But yeah, I mean, those are guys you're gonna play pretty much each and every week, and you don't even have to really think about it.
Yeah, that's a hell of a squad.
So I like it. Make Call of Duty great again. 2-1 and an 18 PPR. Okay. All for Jacobs and Evans for Bijan. What are your thoughts? Bijan, Saquon, Taylor, Moss, Kyron, Pierce, White, Hall, Pittman, Waddle, Pickens, Flowers. So it's an 8-man. You're offered Jacobs and Evans for Bijan. So you're giving up Bijan and you're getting Jacobs and Evans. You also have Saquon, Taylor, Moss, Kyron, Pierce, White, and Hall. No, I'm not giving up Bijan. I tell you why I'm not giving up Bijan, because you got Saquon, who still hasn't came back from his injury yet, and he's going to come back injured. He's not going to be 100% healthy, so now you got to rely on that. JT, we don't know what the hell's going on there. He might give you the 6 games, or he should at least give you the 6 games he needs in order to get credit for the season. Moss, I mean, then JT's going to come back. Kyron, he scored a bunch of touchdowns so far, so is he going to continue to be an RB1? I don't know. He's more of like an RB2 for me. Pierce, we don't really like Pierce at all. We don't like White at all. And you got Brees Hall. So I think I want Bijan there. You got Pittman, who's been a target hog. I was wrong on Pittman. Pittman is playing awesome so far. Waddle, Pickens, Flowers. I don't know if I want to give up Bijan here. And I don't trust Josh Jacobs is my other part. But what do you think about this trade? Because it's not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade. You get Josh Jacobs, you get Mike Evans, who's been killing it. But what do you think?
This is a tough one, but I think your first part of your analysis for this particular team was kind of spot on, because there's so many questions with this running back room as it stands, and then you ship out a guy that you probably can count on in Bijan for a guy in Josh Jacobs that you can't right now, right? You can't count on Josh Jacobs for good production at this point. And from what we've seen so far, so I think I'm leaning keeping Bijan. And also now Flowers is going to be elevated because OBJ and Bateman are going to be out, and who knows how long they'll be out for. So Zay Flowers takes on an elevated workload with a Mark Andrews. So I think I'm going to hold on to Bijan, because then you want him to be your RB1, and then you have Moss, Kyron to kind of fill in the pieces. Damian Pierce, I would try and move off of maybe like a Damian Pierce, a Zach Moss, like try and package, if you want to tear up at wide receiver, maybe package a Pickens, a Pierce, a Kyron, if you really want to get another stout wide receiver.
Yeah, see, we need some running backs, maybe. See what's good. DS, a portfolio process trade. Acquired Stroud, Jalen Warren, a third, and a 26. Hold on. Here we go. Stroud, Warren, a third, 26 fab. Now have most fab in the league. Okay, so you Stroud, Warren, and a third, 26 fab for T-Law, Evans, and a fourth. Now my one and only share of Stroud. So you paid T-Law, Evans, and a fourth. And you got Stroud, Warren, and a third. Am I reading that right? Am I reading this right?
Yep.
So we got Stroud, Warren in the third, and some Fab, and you gave up T. Law, Evans, in a fourth.
Diaz, were you like not feeling like you could win with T Law and Evans? Is that why you kind of came off of them? I don't know if I want Jalen
Oh, he said
Warren.
it's just a process trade for his portfolio, getting to share Stroud. So, I mean, it's almost like an evenish kind of trade. I mean, obviously you're not winning right now if you're getting Stroud and you're giving up Evans. So, I mean, that's fine just to get a Stroud because Stroud keeps playing like this, he'll be right
Yeah.
almost up there with T Law.
T Law's not playing well
And
right
T
now.
Law's not playing well, so that's why it's yeah. Yeah, not bad DS. I don't love it, but I understand it. Just trying to get a share of Stroud, so that's all good. Just Dre, what up? Start three out of these options. Already played dubs. All right,
Okay.
12-man league, full PPR. So we got to still pick three, right? Out of these. CD, Addison, Tank, Puka, Ridley.
CD's a lock.
Boom, lock.
I think you're
Tell him
locking
Hammer.
Puka. You're locking Puka in as well, aren't you?
Puka's a lock. Tell him Hammer.
This third one is tough, but you're
No,
going
fucking
Ridley.
not. Shut
You're
the
going
fuck up.
Ridley. You're
It's
going
not tough.
Ridley.
It's Ridley. Drop the hammer on him.
Tank makes a strong case here, dude. He really does. But God, Stroud is slinging it all over the place, bro. All over the place. You can make the argument for Tank, and I wouldn't be able to argue with you a ton. However, Ridley is the
Feel it.
unquestioned number one.
I feel it.
Ridley is the unquestioned one, but yeah, it's CD, it's Puka, and then you can lose some sleep over Tank and Ridley.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't read that. What up, Bowie Frank said, "What do you think about Mark Andrews? Owner also has Laporta. Maybe trying to trade for. Okay, so you wanted maybe trade for Laporta, and your tight end is Kincaid. All right.
Yeah,
And
I
if
mean,
Laporta is backup, maybe just offer him Kincaid and something.
yeah,
Any RB wide receiver, maybe.
yeah, I would pick Laporta, but like I said before, OBJ and Bateman are out, so it's really Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews that you feel comfortable with. So maybe Mark Andrews starts picking up the pace a little bit here, but man, you guys know how I feel about Sam Laporta, and he's been delivering pretty much each week. I would take Laporta, but I can understand why you would want to go after Andrews.
Yeah, maybe they stay with Laporta and maybe he wants to give up Andrews. I don't know. You could
I
try.
don't. It's an upgrade either way if you get either one of these
It
guys
is.
over Kincaid at
It
this
is.
point, because Dawson Knox is still getting burned as the tight end there in Buffalo. So I love the thought process there.
Diaz says he's a middle of the road team with lots of capital. Okay, so he basically kind of said, "All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna try and go in next year." I mean, if you got the capital, depending how middle of the road are, you can use those, or fuck it, just go into next season and
Mm-hmm.
and use the capital, use the value. First few weeks, Romeo was playing limited snap. Yeah, I know that first week he didn't play that much. I think the first week it was first week only 48%. So you
And still had
right,
a good game.
you right. Master God 3, what's up, man? Adam Thielen or Mike Evans in the flex?
This is Mike Evans. I'm not sure if Bryce Young is playing. I know it is the Adam Thielen revenge game. I actually saw a crazy parlay on the FanDuel Instagram where it had the revenge game parlay, where it had Calvin Ridley versus Atlanta. It had Thielen versus the Vikings. It had Zeke versus Dallas, and it had Mecole Hardman versus Kansas City. I wouldn't play Mecole Hardman for that parlay. I'd probably go with the first three, but I'm still going Mike Evans here. He just is producing right now. Adam Thielen had a hell of a game. I can't count on his consistency as much as I can Mike Evans. It's Mike Evans here.
Yeah, and I think Bryce is back. I know Thielen did have the big game Andy
Now,
Dalton, right?
one quick caveat: the Bucks are playing the Saints, so this is the Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans thing. So,
Well, that's what I'm saying. And you got Thielen going against his old team, the Minnesota Vikings. So that's a that's a tough one. And I might have to go Thielen on this after that game last game. Now going against Minnesota, you got Miles Sanders who's banged up.
see if Bryce, I like the way Andy Dalton moved that Carolina offense. You know, Andy Dalton's no great shakes, but he threw it around a bunch in that game last week, and they actually were competitive. So you can certainly make that argument if Andy Dalton is the quarterback there this week. Is Bryce Young playing?
Yeah, it says he's cleared to play, so it looks like he is going to
I'm
he
taking
is
Mike
gonna now
Evans.
to be fair, Bryce did give him 9 targets the game before.
Yeah, I'm still going Mike Evans here.
But Evans, it's hard to not play Evans. I mean, he's had what 10 targets, 8 targets, 10 targets. Like he's getting the targets. He
Mm-hmm.
had obviously one monster yardage game. The other two were, in the 60s, but a touchdown every game so far. I have to go against the grain here. Go with my dog Thielen.
Oh, stop it.
I mean, listen, Mike Evans has been hot, but sooner or later, like Godwin has got to come out. Um, Give me some Thielen, but that's a close one. It's hard to not play. It's hard to not play Mike Evans. One more question: Richardson or Burrow rest of season?
I'm still gonna go Joe Burrow here, but I will say this: that calf does concern me. They kind of shook off a little bit of rust last week against the Rams, but I think if you play a more potent offense right now, I know the Rams are scoring, getting a bunch of yards, but if they play a better team, I think they lose that game. Um, so I'm gonna still say Burrow, but man, Richardson's got a ton of upside. I just worry about him getting hurt. I know he had the concussion there, but it's Burrow. But man, Richardson is intriguing. He's looked better than I thought he would coming out of the gate.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Burrow too. I mean, Richardson will have his growing pains. I mean, he still has a very, high floor, so that's good. But it kind of just depends on what you feel about Joe Burrow. Do you feel, are you worried about the injury, or are you not? So, I think that is obviously something that could slow him down, the next few weeks. But I'm gonna still roll with my boy Burrow here too.
And I think the one positive for Joe Burrow is that he came out of that game without any setbacks. So he essentially gets
Mhm.
an additional week to kind of recover. There were no setbacks on the
Well,
calf, so that's obviously the key with Burrow.
well, I think the one shitty part about it, or the one bad thing about it, is that he's only taking these little 3-step drops and then throwing it. So, he's not really pushing the ball downfield or making big plays. I don't think he even throw a touchdown last week.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. So,
I
still
hear
threw
it.
for the yardage was there. He threw the ball a ton. I mean, 49 times. Shit. It's just the touchdowns and being able to really push. So how much longer is it going to take? Figure they've got 1, 2, 3 more weeks until the bye week. And then you come back against San Fran.
Who's
And by
that?
that time
Cincinnati?
it's only what 8, 9. What is it? 4, 5 more weeks. And then you've got like the playoffs. Like these next 3 games are important. So it's tough.
For sure.
Sim said picked up Stroud for Herbert's bye next week. Okay. Going against Atlanta. Okay. I like it. Think he could put up some points. Yeah. I mean, he's been putting up points. The only thing with Atlanta is that they do like to run the ball a lot. So if they are going to be, successful at doing that, it is going to kind of slow the game down a little bit. So that would be the only thing really. But I'm sure he's probably the best one on waivers for you to pick up. I mean, who else was out there for you to pick up? Is there any other better matchups? But I mean, yeah, I don't mind it. I'm fine with it. What do you think, Hammer?
Yeah, Stroud has been awesome, and I keep saying this. I love Stroud out of all the quarterbacks in this draft, even over Bryce Young. So give me some CJ Stroud, and he's got a better complement you brought this up on the last show. He's got a better complement of weapons than we initially thought, especially at the wide receiver position. So, yeah, Stroud is a fine pickup for a bye week.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bryce will just take a little bit longer, but I still like Bryce. Ford or Madison?
I'm staying on this Ford train, baby.
He's
Built
got
Ford tough.
Baltimore. He's got Baltimore this week. Another kind of good defense. Looks
That's
like he's
fine.
good to go. I know he's a little banged up last week, but good to go this week. We still rolling with Ford in that Cleveland offense. I mean, we saw last week he didn't really have to do much on the ground, but he wound up banging it, banging one in, and he actually caught one. But yeah, I mean, offense is looking a little bit better, no?
Yes, it is, and that's kind of why I'm leaning Ford here. I know, obviously, Madison playing Carolina, they're not really that great. But I like Ford's usage, and I said this, last week that Ford's usage is going to lend itself to production. And while the yardage wasn't crazy, you'll take 2 touchdowns every single game and run for the hills.
Yeah. Yeah, I think who's Madison got? We've got the Panthers. That's right.
Carolina, yep.
Ooh, this is tough, man. This is tough. Do we go Madison or do we roll with the hot hand? The hot hand in Jerome Ford.
Still taking Ford, bro.
Yeah, I'm taking Ford, but fuck. Yeah, give me Ford. Give me Ford. One Nation said pick two: Ford Moss, Tank Dell. You got to do this to us. Now you do have Anthony Richardson coming back this week, right? Does that affect Zach Moss at all, or in the red zone at least, or down by the goal line? I mean, he didn't score a rushing touchdown last week. He had a receiving touchdown,
Potentially.
but yeah, 30 carries for 122. I mean, I don't know how much of that changes. So it's tough to not go Moss, or do you go Ford over Moss? Or do you play both of those guys and not play Tank Dell?
No, I'm playing Tank Dell.
That's what I'm thinking too. That you got to kind of play Tank Dell, right?
Yep, I'm playing Tank Dell here. And listen, you can lean Moss. Who do the Colts have? Colts home
Rams.
against the Rams. Yeah, that's really a toss up between Ford and Moss. They both played pretty well last week in terms of fantasy point production. Fuck it. Give me. Joe Mixon had a decent game against the Rams.
I'm going
Not
Moss.
great. Yeah, you can make that argument. Fuck it. I'm still rolling with Ford. Ford and
All
Dell.
right. You heard it. How many weeks would you give T Law? He's my weak spot. He is my weak spot. Weak spot. My bad. About to start streaming QBs, Jones, Geno, Golf, these kind of bums. No, I'm not.
Frank,
Golf
no,
maybe, but T Law. Go ahead.
you can make the case. I benched T Law in my 2 quarterback home league for Jordan Love. I did it. I didn't.
You
I'm not
could.
feeling it.
I would say
Jordan
out
Love.
of these guys, Golf though, not the others.
Well, not necessarily because Geno's good. I don't.
I mean,
There's no. Geno's
yeah.
been better than T Law. Like it's that simple. So, listen, go with your gut. I would lean Goff as well. But if you like you some Geno, that's fine. Goff is the best out of those three.
I mean, yeah, T-Low's just got to get his shit together. I mean, he's chucking it 40 times a game, but the whole offense has been just fucked as of right now. Tim said, other QB I see on waivers the same Howell, week 5 against Chicago. I don't know if I can trust him. I mean, Chicago's defense is pretty trash. You probably could, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I
No,
wouldn't. I
I'm
wouldn't.
good. I'm good on Sam Howell. No, thank you.
Big Money Joe. What up? Need a flex 12 man, 1 point PPR. Tank, D Hop, Kamara, Judy, A Chan.
All right, so let's start removing people.
Just how about we just pick out the two names that it's going to be. Think we can both
Me-
pick those out. What do you think?
Yeah,
For me,
obviously
I think it's Tank and
Tank is.
Achan. I'm not playing the. I'm not. I don't think I'm comfortable playing the other guys.
Yeah, I think I agree too. I'm taking Tank here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. Oh man, Tank or Achan again. God damn it. Yeah, give me Tank. Fuck it. Let's go Tank. Akiro, what up? Rate my trade. Traded Derrick Henry, Chris Olave, and Puka for Tyreek Hill and James Conner. Traded Henry, Olave, and Puka. Got Tyreek Hill and James Conner. Okay. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I don't mind this honestly. The thing I worry about with James Conner is, is he gonna hold up? Because he's probably gonna miss a few games. So just be ready for that. Derrick Henry is disintegrating before our very eyes. So
This he is, and somebody offered me a trade, and I'm about to just smash it and say fuck it. But
I'm okay with this.
me giving up Kyron Williams, me getting Derrick Henry.
Ugh. That's tough.
So
Derrick
do I take
Henry.
Henry or do I take Kyron Williams? I mean, in this league, I'm 2-1. I got a pretty decent squad, but I also have Garrett Wilson, who was my wide receiver too, which kind of fucked me a little bit, but still chugging along. I got Patty Mahomes, your boy Ford. I got Hawkinson. Um, so yeah, Kyron Williams or Derrick Henry. I'm about to just take Derrick Henry. I'm about to just hit accept. What do you guys think, Henry or Kyron Williams? I know the team is not good. Maybe they lose, and maybe Henry doesn't play towards the end. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. And I've always had this distaste of taking Henry these last couple of years because I don't want to. I don't want it to be the year that I take him that he breaks down or he.
I think I'm still sticking. I think I'm still sticking with Kyron, even though he didn't have a good game. He still had 7 targets in the passing game. Give me Kyron here.
Yeah, he did. I was offered Kyron and Gibbs for my Pollard. I also have Kamara, Cook, and Achan.
Pollard's been
I
fantastic.
mean, I think I'd rather just have Pollard to
I'm
be
keeping
honest. I mean,
Pollard.
Gibbs and Kyron are great, but it's not like you're desperate for running back help. Like, if one of your guy if one of those guys got injured, maybe then you make that trade because you want to split it and just have some guys you can play. But I think for right now, I'd just rather keep Pollard. No,
Agreed.
Smitty. Two RBs to start: Pierce, Kamara, and Jacobs. And we've been, at least I've been a vivid not liker of Pierce. But who does he have this week? Because it all just depends on the game flow.
So Houston is home against Pittsburgh. Kamara home against Tampa. Jacobs, fuck the Raiders. Jacobs at LA Chargers.
Taking Kamara and Jacobs. I don't care. Taking Kamara and
Uh,
Jacobs. I know that
uh,
there's nobody else there. What's his name? Williams is hurt. So it's just Kendra. He was a little banged up. He looked okay last week, but I think they just get Kamara involved right away. There's nobody else there. It's not like he's coming off injury, right? He's coming off suspension. So give me Kamara. Give me Jacobs, who I know is going to get the rock. Even if he doesn't do anything with it, I can live with that. And I'm Max Pierce. What about you?
yeah, Jacobs is going to get the volume. It's one of these games he's going to break out, so it's bound to happen. This is a pretty halfway decent matchup. I think he's going to get some good work. He just got to be more efficient. He's got to get his legs going. He's got to get, that offensive line has to play a little bit better. But yeah, Jacobs is going to get the volume. Kamara as well. And you like Kamara in the passing game, so he has some PPR upside. Pierce, it's not very good for Pierce.
Would you consider playing Sutton this weekend as a wide receiver two? I mean, I don't know about wide receiver two, but I mean, Sutton has been good. I mean, who are you trying to plug him in over? I think that's the bigger question.
Mm-hmm.
Marty said, everyone drop a like now. Appreciate you, Marty. Yeah, everybody drop a like. Everybody in the chat there. Appreciate everybody. Throw a subscribe if you haven't. Smash it. Foot legends in the building. Back at it with the lineup: Watson, Mostert, Moss, Evans, Debo, Andrews, Nico, Niners, and Moody. Bench: Palmer, Pierce, Dalvin, Achan, Henry. Henry. That's got to be Derrick Henry. No,
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry. Okay, my bad. Uh, Pierce, Dalvin, Achan, Palmer. Would we play Palmer over a Nico?
Nico.
Debo probably is not playing, so you're probably gonna have to slot somebody in there, right? So you gotta throw what Palmer in there, no? Evans
Yeah,
and Palmer.
if Debo doesn't play, Palmer's in.
Okay, and then are we making any other changes? Are we playing Achan over Mostert, Moss, or Nico?
You can make the argument for Nico, but
You could.
that's a tough one, man. I don't think, and it's tough to play two running backs from the same team. You got Mostert already playing. Yeah, I'm leaving this lineup as is. If Debo does not play, fire up Josh Palmer.
Big Money Joe. Appreciate the help, fellas. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Where we at? All in one show was goody. Puka and Achan for Pollard. Puka and yeah, if you need a running back, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well, considering Cooper Cup is on his way back. So I think once Cooper Cup comes back, Puka's value is going to take a bit of a hit, and I think being able to get Pollard is fantastic.
Legend said losing Chubb and trading Saquon really hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, if those were your two running backs
Well,
going into the season, you are hurting for a squirting.
it happens. It happens. Emil said Kyron, he gets all the receptions. I know. But the thing with Henry is like they don't even have to be in like a positive game script almost. They just got to get near the goal line and it's like banging a touchdown. But I don't know. I don't know. A Jeezy said any waiver wire tight ends you like to stream this week. I'm thinking about dropping Hunter. Don't like his upcoming matchups PPR. Well, who I guess would be available on your waivers this week?
Not a lot because the
Let me check.
Laportas, the Musgraves, those guys are probably rostered already. Is
So you
Jake Ferguson out there?
if Ferguson is out there, I do like Ferguson. I don't know if Cole Kmet is out there. See if maybe Cole Kmet is out there. There's not much that.
Yeah,
Really love here.
the tight end is so thin that if you have Hunter Henry, I'm still kind of playing Hunter Henry at this point because of the positional, the position's not that
Yeah.
great. I think I'm still rolling Hunter Henry out there over what's on the waiver.
Mm-hmm. William. I know, Diaz. I know. I know. It's just I've never ever had Henry on my team. Never. I've always avoided Henry for just whatever reason. Ed Seat, Zach Moss or Madison full PPR.
I mean, Madison's he's getting the targets, man. I think I like. Let me see what Moss is looking like in the passing game.
No problem, AGZ. I'm with Hammer as well. There, just you almost just better off just pick a tight end, just play him the whole season, and then whatever happens, happens. I mean, there's not going to be much difference between any really of the other tight ends that are out there. So,
Or Jeezy, listen, if you send us the rest of your lineup, you may be able to kind of make a trade if you want to solidify that position a little bit more. Now we always talk about, listen, if you don't have one of those top three guys right now, Andrews is kind of hit or miss. Really, it's Kelsey and kind of everybody else. You can make the argument for Sam Laporta being really good, but the tight end position is just it's so hard to lock in on a guy. Especially if you don't have Kelsey. So Can look at that as well. So Zach Moss or Madison, full PPR. I mean, listen, Zach Moss has had 4 targets and 3 targets. Madison's getting a lot more.
What is he doing?
Stupid phone. So Madison is getting. He's got 17 targets in 3 games.
Mm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. But
They're
I'm
running
still
Zach Moss.
playing Moss. I'm playing Moss still. I don't care. I'm playing Moss still.
That's
Until
crazy.
JT comes back, I'm not playing. I'm playing Moss. Fuck it.
You said you're not going to get caught putting Zach Moss on the bench anymore. I think you went off on a little bit of a rant and said, "Fuck it, I got burned last week. I'm playing Moss." Boom.
Oh. Let's see. Debo is expected to play. Should he start Palmer since he is a little bit banged up? I would just keep an eye on it because I don't know. I've heard that he might not play. Maybe he does. Keep an eye on it for sure. But do we
So,
play Palmer instead anyway?
well, they both play at 4 o'clock, so you're kind of gonna have your answer regardless. Maybe, man. Chargers home against the Raiders. Kind of like that matchup a lot.
Yeah.
That's a tough call. You really have to see how healthy Debo is and how you feel about it. If you got Debo in there and you trust him, he's been good. But if Debo plays, I kind of think you gotta play him.
It's tough.
But if he doesn't play, that becomes an easy pick there.
Still, I don't know. I like Palmer still though against Vegas.
They said Quentin Johnston's supposed to get a healthy opportunity this week.
Of course, Palmer's still ahead of him though. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, if he's going to be the 2, and then what's his name, Quentin will be the 3, or vice versa. We'll see. Traded Barkley, Sheffanabi. Traded Barkley, Richardson, and Waller for Brees, Hurts, and Andrews. Barkley, Richardson, Waller, Brees, Hurts, and Andrews. So we get off Richardson, we get Hurts, we get off Barkley, we get Brees, we get off Waller, we get Andrews.
Kind of like this.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it, Chef.
Yeah, I like
That's how you
that.
chef it up. Chef it up. Jug said Eckler out again. That's tough. I know, Jugs. I know, man. Moving K9 out of the flex to replace him. That's fine. So we need to start one for the flex. Sutton, DJ Moore, Joshua Kelly, or Achan. It's not Joshua Kelly. I'll tell you that right now.
Tell us how you
Leaning
really
towards
feel.
Sutton or DJ because of matchup. Thoughts? Sutton's been hot, right?
Yes, he
Main
has.
guy over there.
Now it looks like Jerry Judy is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So take that for what it is.
And also, DJ Moore is going against a team that just got 70 put on him.
You trust Justin Fields?
No, but yeah. Let's go Sutton. I
Yeah,
guess.
fire up
Let's
Sutton
go.
here.
Because yeah, give me Sutton. Fuck it.
Who's Denver playing? At the Bears. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they're playing each other.
Yeah.
They're
Give me
playing each
Sutton
other.
here. I'll take Sutton.
Yeah, give me Sutton too. Appreciate you, Jugs. Smash that like for us, guys. Smash that subscribe if you're new. Throw all your questions in the chat. We will get to them there. Kamara, Mostert, or James Conner, pick 2.
This is a tough one. The lock is Mostert, obviously. James Conner playing at San Francisco. He did play well against Dallas. I don't think a lot of people had him doing what he did against Dallas. So Arizona is not the pushover that we thought. But I think I'm taking a little more upside with Kamara here. Give me Kamara and Mostert. This is close, though. Connor's been really good.
Yes, they are going against San Fran. Yeah, give me man. Give me Mostert and Kamara too.
Connor's been terrific, man.
Connor's going to wind up getting in the end zone though. He might not have a lot of yards, but both got to give him my props on Zach Moss. Yeah, you were on Zach Moss. I mean, fuck him, but He was cheap for Dynasty. Yeah, that's pretty true. Redraft got him off the waiver wire. He's giving you 2 solid starts. Just hold him a redraft. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's the way
You
to
were
do
right.
it.
You were right about that, Diaz. No doubt. Here's my lineup: Gino, Madison, Moss, Tyreek, Higgins, Sutton, Goddard, Connor. Still have Cup on IR. Yeah, I mean, if JT comes back, okay, you got Connor at least. But what's your other wide receivers? No problem, Etsy. Appreciate you. Victory lap for Diaz over here. Blue Dream on the roll tonight, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Playbook. Spark it up, brother. Spark it up. I gotta finish this little clip I had holding here for a minute. Red Solo Cup in the house. What up, brother? Goaded. What's good? What is goody Solo Cup? By the way, word on the street, they lowered their price for JT for an early second, or now what the Colts are asking after seeing Moss run. They def ain't paying him. They're gonna run
Yep.
him into the ground, choke. Yeah, of course. I don't think Moss is the future there either. Now, do they give away JT? Because what are they getting if they don't give away JT? Isn't it like a third or something like that? So it's got to be something more than a third, right? Isn't it like the complimentary pick or whatever the hell it is?
The
Isn't that like a
compensatory
third or
pick.
a fourth for him or something?
I'm not even sure how that actually works. Yeah, I'm not too sure on how that work on what that exactly is. I know about the compensatory pick, but I'm not sure what that is.
Palmer, 72 receptions last season. He did. There was a lot of guys hurt. I mean, Keenan Allen was out for most of the season. Williams was banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Trade Mostert in London for Gibbs and Addison. I like Gibbs and Mostert. Gonna get. I like Gibbs and Mostert gonna get hurt. Knock knock on wood. Trade Mostert and London for Gibbs and Addison.
It's just redraft or
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's just I know Mostert. I know that he always is banged up. I know, but he's like RB1 right now. It's like fuck. If yeah, do you not need that production? Like, are you okay at running back? Like, I know you're getting Addison, but is it that much of an upgrade from like whatever else you have on your bench? Like, I don't know, Hammer. What do you think?
that's a tough one because right now you want Mostert over Gibbs by a wide margin, and you kind of want Addison over London. So, it, yeah, it depends. Like, are you hurting? Do you need wide receiver help because London's not playing well? Because you can't really play Gibbs right now. I mean, you can if you were desperate, maybe in the flex or at the RB2 spot, but man, Mostert, like you said, he's virtually RB1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what you need. Do you need the wide receiver more? Or do you need the running back more?
Yeah. Foot legends. Jimmy G not expected to play. Brian Hoyer could step in if he's not playing concussion protocol. I did hear that, so obviously something to keep an eye on for sure. I mean, you're still gonna play Devontae, so
I just made a trade for Devontae in our home league. I gave up Josh Jacobs. What? What was that?
you did. You gave up Josh Jacobs and what? What did you pay for him? Josh Jacobs and
Hollywood.
I actually like Hollywood as a good buy low.
Jacobs, Hollywood. It was a couple of it was more than I like to kind of involve. It was like a 9-player trade, but I was really trying to just load up on my wide receivers, try and get something for Jacobs. Devontae might get traded.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he signed the contract. Shit. I mean, that means get Moss for a third, maybe 2/3. He'll be worth it long term, especially if JT shuts himself down after he gets sick. Yeah. I mean, we've all been afraid of that JT, shutting himself down. I mean, fire up Khalil Herbert. I hate Khalil Herbert. But yeah, the Broncos are pretty trash. Stopping the run there. Right. Anish just traded Chase, Wilson, and Madison for CD, Cup, and Jacobs, 10-man PPR. Chase, Wilson, and Madison, you got CD, Cup, and Jacobs. I mean, if Cup comes back healthy and does his thing, then you smash this, even if
Mm-hmm.
Jacobs is not that good. So, yeah, I mean, if you're with the risk on Cup, then fuck yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm
like
not.
it?
I do like it because the injury, and you brought this up, which is an excellent point, is that Bengals offense is not. I know Chase had a really good game, but it took him what 15 targets, 12 grabs on 15 targets, I believe, to have that type of game. Normally, he can get 8 or 9 targets and have a massive game. So that Bengals offense is not looking the way it should. So yeah, you get CD for Chase. I love that. That's an upgrade at this point. Cup has a higher ceiling as long as Stafford's healthy than Garrett Wilson at this point. And if you got to give up Madison for Jacobs, you could pretty much call that a wash because I think Jacobs will start at least playing fairly well. So yeah, I like this trade a lot.
We know Josh Kelly's a bum. I know. If you didn't
There
see
it
my
is.
video on it, go check it out on
He's still on
Instagram.
waivers, and we from San Diego. That's funny.
All right, DS said the comp pick is after the third round, before the fourth. Yeah, so they got to get at least a second, right? I wouldn't even do it for a third almost, right? Because you're almost getting that anyway.
Yeah.
So it's got to be at the least a second. DS said paid a late second and a 26th third for Mostert. Yeah, that's not too bad. Ride him knowing he's not going long for the world. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, especially if you're going for the gusto. I'm fine with that.
Philip said, how do you feel about Javante going against the Bears? I mean, I like the matchup. One of these games, Javante is gonna have a game. Just waiting for it to happen. Just waiting for it to happen. But he's getting more and more work, right? He's getting more and more work.
It's been pretty stable though. He's getting like 15-ish. Still
Yeah, because
playing
they
less than.
suck. Yeah, because they suck. But I mean, it's not like somebody else is taking it. Like Perina's not really doing jack.
No, they're just throwing it around because they're down in games.
Mm-hmm.
So Russ has to sling it all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Javante at this point, he can slot into your RB2. I know people are very desperate for running backs at this point, with a ton of them injured or coming off injury. Josh Jacobs not playing well, Derrick Henry not playing well, Austin Eckler hurt, Barkley hurt. Like, people are scrambling right now for running backs. Kamara just coming back. So yeah, I think if you play Javante in the RB2 spot, you're at least okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting what, 10 to 15 touches, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Just missing some tutties. Need some tutties to add in there, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yep. So we've got fucking Vikings, man. We need to beat the Panthers now.
Mm-hmm.
Lions 3-1.
Yep.
Dolphins Bills. That should be a good game. Looking forward to that. Broncos Bears should be a nice shit show. Ravens Browns. Bengals Titans. Rams Colts. I mean, Bucks Saints. Commanders Eagles. There's not like a crazy exciting game, right?
Think the Bills Dolphins is probably the most exciting
That's
game of the week.
that's what I'm saying. That's got to be the one. Bills or Dolphins?
Bills
What
at
we doing?
home. This is kind of, if the Dolphins win this game, you could kiss the division goodbye for Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. J-Man, do you think Keenan Allen is a sell high guy or keep him?
For me, he is a explore. See what people are willing to give you. I'm not necessarily going to trade him no matter what. Put him out there, see what you can get. Obviously, the way he's playing right now, I don't think he can hold up with that workload for the entire season. I could be wrong, but he is older and he has had a crazy injury history the last 2 to 3 years. So I would be inclined to be on the sell side, but get what you want. Now, listen, any game it can happen, and now he's probably going to have an even higher target share with Mikey Will out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to ride it out. I don't. I mean, like Hammer said, you could feel it out, see what you need. But unless I've got like a bunch of injuries and I need to like split them, I'm not gonna move them. You know, unless you absolutely really need to. I probably just take the chance on him, just ride it out, fuck it. But you can absolutely try and move off if you're uncomfortable with him. If you think he's gonna, be injured. I think that offense is gonna be great. I love me some Herbert this year, so I'm for it. I'm
Yep.
for it. I got Keenan in one league, and I'm rolling with him. Remember, I told you I was going to trade him. It's a dynasty league that I have him in, but I'm contending, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep him. Like I got him and Amari as my veteran guys to fucking chug me along.
Yeah, listen, I don't mind it, but I just worry, man, 20 targets? Jesus Christ.
Obviously, he's not going to get that every game.
I don't know. Justin Herbert's out there slinging it all over, bro. He may.
Frank said, "What'd you think about my RB room? Bijan, Swift, B Rob. I built for the season long haul and Roshan second half. Okay, Roshan, yeah,
Well, listen, if you got Bijan and Swift right now, you're in good shape. Even B Rob,
fine.
you know.
You got B Rob, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. Hall, okay, Hall and Roshan. My bad. You're more than fine. Shit, you could probably even make a trade if you need to upgrade somewhere. You know,
Well,
or wait for Brees to have the big game, or wait for Roshan to have the big game.
mm-hmm.
You know, so you can always move some of those guys if you need to. But I mean, yeah, your running back room is fire right now. It's pretty good. I like it.
Pretty sure you got DeAndre Swift at a good value.
I like it, Frank. Let's see what else we got going on. What's the latest news we got? Got any latest injury updates or anything?
Let's see. What the fuck is the news? Jameson obviously got his suspension reduced to 4 games, so he'll be back in week 5. Odell Beckham and Bateman are already out. So fire up Zay Flowers if you're questioning him, fire up Zay Flowers. Miles Sanders didn't practice. Bryce Young active and will start.
Okay.
Uh, Cooper Kupp resume practicing next week. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow doesn't carry an injury designation into the game against Tennessee. That's big as well.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
Ham, what up, Ham? A-Chain or Tutu in the flex hammer?
I've been a 2-2 guy. I have him on a couple of rosters, including 2 dynasty rosters. And he was kind of obviously a crazy flyer, and he's been holding me down in some of these leagues where I have Cooper Kupp and Christian Watson. I think you're still going Achan here though. But Tutu has some good upside, man. He really does. He's getting good targets. He's converting at a pretty high clip. So this is a closer one than a lot of people may think. Tutu is currently wide receiver 15 in PPR, half PPR.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 26 targets in 3 games.
9 and 9. I mean, he's getting steady targets. He scored the tutty last week. And then I think he almost had he almost ran one,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, but it's like he went out of bounds or something like that.
Yeah. Well, he got the touchdown
So
later on in that drive,
okay.
I believe. But he's
Yeah.
getting the look. See, the problem is, who did we say the Rams are playing?
Well,
Colts.
Buffalo's got the Bills. The Rams have got Indy.
We know Buffalo's got the Bills. Buffalo is the
I
Bills.
mean, we got Miami's got the Bills. My bad.
Yeah. You know what? Give me Tutu here
I was gonna
in the
say,
dome.
man.
Yeah, give me Tutu here in the dome. Bro, Achan doing that. Mostert is the guy. Okay.
I know, but A-Chain doesn't need a lot of touches. That's the other
No,
part.
he doesn't.
You know,
I'm taking Tutu here.
it's tough not to play A-Chain, man.
People are
Shit.
gonna be people are gonna be chasing those 60 points all season.
Yeah, of course, of course. But what happens in Buffalo, man? Shit. I feel like Tutu is going to give you a decent amount of points, but I feel like Achan is going to give you a decent floor as well. You know, being that it's only him and Molster. Give me Achan. Fuck it. Give me Achan. Give me the upside play. Fuck it. Smile Sky said, would you do Garrett Wilson, Javante, Elijah Moore, and Dobbs for Olave and Zay Flowers? Running backs are Eckler, Jones, Cook, and Mostert. Wilson, Javante, Moore, and Dubes for Olave and Flowers.
It's a lot, but Olave and Flowers are gonna be really good. Garrett Wilson's got some question marks. Javante's not playing crazy. He doesn't have a high ceiling right now. Elijah Moore's been better, but not great. Dobbs is your best asset that you're giving up right now, or at least playing the best out of those four.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing that concerns me with this is you're going to leave yourself a little thin at running back because Mostert, Eckler, we don't know when Eckler is going to come back. Aaron Jones is banged up, but he came back, so I think Aaron Jones will be good. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'll do this.
I think I'm all right with it too. But you said he might be short at running back. He might be even short at wide receiver now, giving up Wilson, Moore, and Dobbs. You know. So, but yeah, give me Olave and Flowers. Fuck it, I'll roll with the RB room there. I'll roll with it. Wide receivers are Lockett, Puka, Thielen, and Wilson. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with giving up Wilson. Then fuck it, you got Lockett. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Frank said that's what I'm thinking. Trade for Andrews and Swift off of waivers, and try to trade him back to the guy who let him go. That's funny.
Hey,
That's
all comes
funny.
full circle in fantasy.
That is funny. Mostert is the guy, and Jeff Wilson comes back soon. I'm with you, Emil. I'm not an A-Chain like lover, or think he's going to be all that great for like the whole season. I think he could be a fine RB2. I think that's what he could be. But yeah, I mean, once Jeff Wilson comes back, I mean, I've mentioned before, Ahmed was also injured, so that's why he got on the field also. So I think it's going to be hard to take him off the field. I think he automatically leapfrogs Ahmed. So now it's basically those three guys, Mostert, Achan, and Wilson. Is it going to be all three of those guys moving in? Like Mike I mean Mike. What's his
Yeah.
name? Yeah, I
I
mean he's always been a guy that said, and there was an interview they did on it too. He's always been a guy that said that he doesn't let players lose their job due to injury, which was a big thing. And he's like, it's hard because A-Chain did his thing. It's hard to take him off the field now. So, when you
and if
do
he has
things,
another good game,
it's rough. So I think it could be all three guys. So I'm not bought in on it as of right now. But to be fair, Jeff Wilson's not back yet. And, Ahmed is still injured. So it's only Mostert and Achan right now, again, for this game.
mm-hmm.
Sold Achan in 2 leagues before the breakout, trying to sell my one left in 0.0 bytes. A lot of people have bought Achan for a 2024 first, which I don't recommend doing. A lot of people have asked, I bought him for a 2024 first, and I just don't recommend spending a first on him. I don't want to tie up that asset in a running back. I'm not doing it. Not for an RB2. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
it. You can use that first in other places. You can go out and spend a second or a third and get a Zach Moss, Ford, Connor for way cheaper, than to get Achan. So yeah, I'm not for it. But yeah, if you can sell them for a first, absolutely take a first any day. What do you think, Hammer? You buying Achan for a first?
No.
I'm not
S-
either.
Simple.
I'm
No.
not either. Um, guys, throw any questions you have in the chat. We'll probably be here for another few here. So throw anything y'all got in the chat. We'll be on tomorrow night as well, 10 Eastern, and then we'll be on Sunday morning. I think we start at like 10 on Sunday morning with the Hustler Network. So we'll be streaming both channels. We start bright and early. A lot of questions.
Already be a game going at that time,
Yeah,
Eastern.
there'll be a game anyway, so we can watch the game, chill, come through. But I'll give y'all another minute or so. Throw any last second questions in there. Hammer, you got anything else you wanted to add or talk
Nah,
about tonight?
nah, kind of just, I mean, I definitely have some questions of my own for some of my teams. I think things are kind of settling in nicely. Yeah, with a bunch of my teams. I do have some things that I did in my playing. I ended up playing. I had three guys for two spots. I had Tank Dell, Romeo Dubes, and Tutu Atwell.
Okay.
And I ended up playing Dubes last night because I have Jordan Love in the super flex, so that cashed in fairly nicely in a full PPR. And I'm playing Tank Dell over Tutu this week. Tutu has to take a seat. You can also throw Jerry Judy in there. I have Judy as my wide receiver 3. So, but at Chicago, I kind of like that matchup.
Mm.
Russell will, that Judy matchup at Chicago. But the Sutton thing is starting to really like. If I see another week of this Sutton bullshit and Jerry Judy not really getting as involved as I'd like, it might be time to put Jerry Judy's behind on the bench.
Mm.
But then the Cooper Cup impending return affects Tutu. So
All right, I got one. I got to play a flex. Jerome Ford, Tyler Lockett, Jerry Judy, Addison, Quentin Johnson.
between Addison and Lockett,
Lockett against the Giants,
mm-hmm.
Judy
Addison
against
against
Chicago,
Addison
Addison
against.
against Carolina.
No, I'm not trusting Judy here over Addison and Lockett. It's between Lockett and Addison.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know. I'll make up my mind later on. We'll see. We shall see. Frank said, "Do you guys stream every Sunday?" I turned down TV and listened all morning. I was cracking up. Yeah, man.
We
Yeah,
appreciate that,
we'll be
Frank.
streaming every Sunday. Usually we're on like 11:30 Eastern, like an hour and a half before, but we teamed up with Hustler Network. We have our show there once a week, obviously. But he does a thing on Sundays and he's got, I mean, like we were in there on Sunday. There's 60, 70 people in there where we're answering questions just kind of
The
nonstop.
questions were rolling. Yeah.
So yeah, we roll with him to help him out because or else he'll kind of be by himself, him and Bogey. So we kind of just all do one big show together, which I think we'll probably keep doing, and we start that at 10 Eastern, 7 West Coast time, which is crazy, 7 a.m.
That's what I was
Um,
telling. That's what I was thinking when I jumped on last time, and
uh,
I realized that those guys are on the West Coast. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers are up early, bro, on a
all right,
Sunday.
yeah, man, yeah. Diaz said the problem with all these rookie RBs is pass pro. Yeah, of course, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Which QB
Agreed.
is one concussion away from destroying the awesome offense? Yeah, I'm with you there, Diaz. Rome said flex PPR, Mixon, Lockett, or Dell.
Woo.
That's a good one. That's a
Well,
good one.
if it's a PPR, Mixon's out of there, so it's either Lockett or Dell. And Dell has been fucking crushing it, man. If you played Dell the last 2 weeks, you're probably doing pretty well. Let's see what Lockett's been up to. Lockett's really consistent. I think he's one of the more underrated guys of our particular generation. Um,
Mhm.
so he's been a little up and down. He had the 2 touchdown game.
Yeah, he
They
hasn't
are
done jack since then. He
well.
hasn't done
He had
jack other than that game, I don't think. Yeah, it's the only
no,
game he did anything.
yeah, but he's still viable though. Like he's
Is he
not.
due? Is he due?
Nah, we're going Tank Dell here, baby.
Oh yeah, fuck man, Dell or Lockett. I guess give me Dell too. Let's roll Dell. I don't know. We're on the Dell. We're on the Dell train. Fuck it. We're on the Dell train. Fuck it. DS said Marcus Word. Start your Broncos. Start your Bears. It's gonna be a big old fashioned pig slap of big plays. Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
I can get behind a Justin Fields kind of game here. I don't like it. I think he could
Yeah,
run around a ton, which would give him some good upside. So Diaz,
yeah.
I feel what you're saying.
It
I
almost
like
doesn't
some
matter what
Broncos here.
Fields does,
What do you mean?
right? Well, the team they just gave up 70. I mean, don't you feel like if Fields even does good this game, it's gonna just be like, oh well, the Broncos are trash.
No, definitely it will be that. But listen, if you have Daniel Jones or Justin Fields, who are you playing this week? Right? Like if you're in that, a
Yeah,
lot of people took
I'm still playing Justin Fields. Fuck it.
a lot of people took Justin Fields and then had to go scramble and pick up a quarterback because he's playing like dog water. So, this could
Mhm.
be one of those situations which I kind of think Diaz is alluding to, where it's like, listen, if you got, Justin Fields or I don't know, Anthony Richardson, who you firing up?
I'm probably still fine up Anthony Richardson. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. I'm just saying, but it becomes a viable question
But
because of the
yeah, I guess
matchup.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. I feel you. DS said bold prediction. Steelers make the move from Najee. They're not. No, Warren is not better than Najee. I don't care. Warren is not better than Najee.
I don't
Don't
think they're
care.
making that move either. They could give
Yeah.
Warren some more passing down work.
He
Um,
already is getting all the passing down work. He's
I
already the third
understand.
down guy. He's getting all the passes. He's already taken that away, which is fine.
I don't think he's getting the main bulk of the carries. I don't see it.
He's bold though. That is bold. I know a lot of people want that to happen, but he's not. That's not happening. Evans gets blanked. Godwin finishes top 15. I can see that for
Well,
sure. I'm more
listen,
on that one.
Evans and Lattimore could get into a fist fight in the first quarter, and that prediction
That's
will.
true. That's true. He could get
So
ejected early. We could have
yeah,
an early exit from Evans this game, boys.
Evans is a risky play against the Saints. Very risky, I will say that. He's been balling, but Evans is very risky with Lattimore.
Shit. That is true. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, appreciate everybody. We'll give you another minute or so. Throw any last questions in there, and then we'll hop up out of here. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be back Sunday morning. So yeah, we're here all weekend, getting everything out.
Dude, the weather
Let
here
us know.
today in
Oh,
New
let's check
York,
out some of the weather real quick. I don't even think I checked for this week so far.
bro. Yesterday and today, bro, New York City is like flooded. Like the train stations, the BQE, the Bell
I don't think there's
Parkway.
anything this week.
Sunday
It's
is
just
going to be
two,
really
it's just
nice
all
here.
greens. It said game in London.
Well, I'm saying today and tomorrow.
Winds around. I said Minnesota, Carolina. Winds around 10 miles per hour. There's no other weather. It doesn't look like that we need to worry about. But we'll check again tomorrow. We'll check again Sunday morning. We'll see if there's anything. But right as of right now, doesn't look like there is anything. We are witnessing. No, I don't think so. I don't think Warren is that good, bro. I don't, and I could be wrong, but I don't think he's that good. I think Najee is still good. He's not fast in any sense or form, but I mean, you can see what he has to go through just to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's not like Warren is doing any better, and it's not like when you look at Warren's receptions, he's wide open. There's these little, just wide open little tosses to him. It's not like he's out there going
Making
crazy,
play.
making all these moves. Like I don't think that. I don't think that's it, but. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going forward, of course. But I think Najee is still the dog. He just ain't doing shit right now. So uh, one of those situations. AS 1-2. I got offered Andrews Atwell for Ford. Any suggestions? I got offered Andrews and Atwell for Ford. Or should I stay put? I just don't trust Henry and Kincaid plus the Lamar Andrews stack can help. I still have Ramondre, Swift, and
Yes.
James. Yeah, then
Smash it
absolutely,
right now.
man. You have
Smash it
enough
right
running
now.
backs. Come on, yeah, we're smashing that, bro.
And listen,
Smash
you have
that.
and listen, if Cooper Cup comes back and gets injured or something, or Puka misses a week or two, Tutu is going to be a nice kind of Joshua Palmer-ish play. So
Mm.
fuck yeah, you upgrading, you get the stack, and you only have to give up his Ford. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we're taking that, bro. I like that. Is there anything to dis meme stock named Keaton Mitchell, or is it a rug? Or is it a rug pull? I mean, there's a bunch of injuries there, so is there a chance that he maybe gets to play and step up? I mean, maybe, but
Yeah, I'm kind of
it's
that.
not in Dynasty.
That's a
You kind
wait
of
and
just want to
see.
hold. He's kind of just holding him on your taxi, hoping he gets a chance to play or something. Peace, Frank. Appreciate you, Frankie.
Yeah, that's a
Here we
wait and
go.
see kind of situation.
Elliott, Perrine, Bigsby, 0.25 first down, PPR, start two. Bigsby, Elliott, done. Well, actually, it could be Perrine against a shitty fucking defense, but I don't know if I trust it. I don't. Give me Bigsby and Elliott.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way as well.
Give me Bigsby and Elliott. Hopefully, we don't let you down this time, Diaz. I know Achan went crazy last week
Yeah, he did. Bigsby.
um when we picked yeah,
And Bixby had a touchdown. Just
he did.
HN went wild.
Would you be buying Najee right now as low as he as I don't regularly recommend buying any running back unless you're like, trying to win right now or going for the contention. It's rough and depends what you can get him for, I guess I would say. I wouldn't say necessarily I'm buying, but I'm open to listening or at least inquiring.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, Najee's just not playing well enough.
Not for redraft. Let me rephrase that. For dynasty, maybe. For redraft, I'm not really trying to buy him. I'll take him in a trade, but
Najee, I mean, I have Najee in our subscriber league, and he's just very frustrating at this point. But I'm riding him out because he's going to get the volume, and I think Pittsburgh will at least improve a little bit. Matt Canada, get your shit together, please. Thank you.
Emil said he dropped Najee. He doesn't need that negativity in his life.
That's a bold move, Emil.
I mean, I guess depends how big the league is too. Brad, what's up, Brad? Would you trade Gibbs and Godwin for Achan and Ridley?
You like Ridley over Godwin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I needed the
redraft.
wide receiver help, right?
Redraft. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, give me Achan and Ridley. Especially if you're
Yeah.
okay at running back. Like you're giving up Gibbs, you're getting Achan, but then you're giving up Godwin, you're getting Ridley. Give me the Achan Ridley combo. Let's do it.
I
Let's do
concur.
it. Here we go. Bigsby, Tony, or G Will PPR Flex 1.
It's got to be G Will here, no? Can make the case for Tony, but
Who the Jets got?
Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean their defense hasn't been bad, so. But Tony, Tony's bum ass. Nah, we can't go Tony. We're going G Will.
Yeah, I'm going G
We're
Will
going
as
G
well.
Will.
No,
We're
Kadarius
going G
Toney.
Will. Buy Najee for a 24 third and a 25 second. Stash him on the bench. Sleep like a baby. If you could, the problem is I don't know who's gonna give him up for that. Like, unless somebody's just absolutely done or needing to rebuild. But yeah, I'd buy him for that for sure. For sure. Definitely okay at running back. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, Brad. I like it. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Diaz, Madison, Hopkins, Evans, or Flowers, flex 1 PPR.
Give me Flowers here with no OBJ, no Bateman. Fire up Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Evans or Flowers.
Evans is
Evans
risky
or
at
Flowers.
Evans
Give me
is risky
Flowers.
with
Give me Flowers.
Lattimore.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go Flowers. He's pretty safe. Let's do it. Flowers. Have Mahomes with Tony if that matters.
It
I
does
don't think
not.
it even does,
It does
actually.
not. Nope. Fire up G Will.
Fire up G Will. Let's do it. All right,
I
y'all.
had
What
I had
happened?
high hopes. I had not high hopes. I had reasonable hopes for Kadarius Tony, and after that first week, his ass sat on my bench. No, thank you. Nope, not going down with that
Uh,
shit.
not doing it. All right, guys, we're about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, guys. Smash that like for us. Make sure smash that subscribe if you're new. Appreciate everybody out there. Appreciate everybody new listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll be back on tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, and we'll be back Sunday morning, 10 Eastern. I don't know if you're getting on that early, Hammer, but I'll be on. So we'll be here.
Depends. I probably pop one at like 11ish, 11:30.
Have Mahomes, Cook or Tony, PPR. Have Mahomes,
James.
Cook or like James Cook. I'm play James Cook.
Yeah, yeah. I'm playing James
Do
Cook over
James Cook.
Tony. No.
DS at Boss Snuggles. All right, peace out, brother. Peace out, guys. Appreciate y'all.